The Detroit Lions fall to 8-6 on the year, losing to the LA Rams 41-34 in today's loss. The Detroit Lions to make the playoffs. Of course, they still have to win out, and then now they have to have the Bears lose one of their next 3 games, whether that's to us or whoever their next 2 opponents are. I haven't looked at the schedule who they face in the next 2 games. This, to some people, wasn't a must-win. And to me, it really, really was. Now, I did not go into this game thinking that we were going to win. Absolutely not. No way in heck did I think we were going to go into this game with a positive attitude in myself about us having a chance. No. We had this game won at halftime. We did. We were balling. We looked like the 2024 Detroit Lions. We did. We looked like the 15-2 2024 Detroit Lions in the first half. Offense unstoppable. Jared Goff clicking on all cylinders. Jamison Williams continuing to step up. St. Brown going back to his 2023 self where he had 1,500 yards. He was unbelievable in the first half. Running game was decent in the first half. And the defense, honestly, wasn't playing too bad in the first half. Second half, had 5 total yards of offense in the third quarter. Couldn't get anything rolling. Defense was not great in the third quarter. Let up a whole bunch of points, but doesn't help when your offense can only get 5 total yards of offense. Fourth quarter, I said offense, of course, 5 different times in that span of 3 seconds. Defense in the third quarter, could not hold up. In the fourth quarter, not much better. The Detroit Lions did score a couple decent amount of points in the fourth quarter, putting up 10, but the defense cannot hold the LA Rams or force a turnover of any sort, and that cost us. It did. The second half cost us this game. Lots of blame to go around. Obviously, continue to be Brad Holmes. Not, I don't think, doing enough this past offseason to make the team better. Just didn't do it. But Dan Campbell, on a 3rd and 11 at the end of the game, decided to run the ball. It was one of the dumbest play calls I've ever seen in my life. Ben Johnson did that quite a bit with us last year and in previous years, and I absolutely hated it. I don't know why you run it on 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 plus. Ben Johnson, I think, running it on 3rd and 12 one time last year. Why do you do that? I understand a trick at defense, but brother, that is ridiculous. You're not going to pick up a first. The odds of you picking up a first by running it on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 11 plus is got to be less than 0.3%. Probably a little bit more than that, but probably only about 3-4%, somewhere around there. It's so unlikely. I understand you got Gibbs who can break one on any run. He really can. But you don't do that. You just don't do that. So we had to settle for a field goal. They only got a yard on that ran. It was the dumbest runs I've seen. And then I think it was on 3rd down at the end of the game on the final drive of offense, the second to final drive of offense for us. They threw it up to Tesla on 3rd down. You don't do that either. That was dumb. You do that on 1st and 2nd down. I'm not trying to act like I know everything here, but you don't do that on 3rd down. You don't do that. You're essentially saying, I'm hoping and I think my receiver is going to be able to come up with the ball. And by the way, Isaac Tesla had to have played at least 60-70% of the snaps again today, at least 70. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure when this snap numbers come out tomorrow, it'll be at about around 70 or a little over 70% of the snaps played. He could not get open. He did not have a catch in this game. He cannot get open. We need a wide receiver 3 on this football team. Trading away Tim Patrick was such a mistake. Khalif Raymond, he was not great in the receiving game this year, or even worse this year. He has not played his part in the receiving game like he did in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Just has not been the same these past 2 years in the receiving game. He just has not. Khalif Raymond is a wide receiver 4 at best, from how he's been playing these past couple years. Wide receiver 4 at best. Isaac Tesla cannot get open to save his life. He just cannot. He's going to make great contested catches. He's going to make big plays. He's going to make one-handed catches. He cannot get open to save his life. To be a great NFL wide receiver in this league, you have to get open, and he cannot do that right now. He is not a starting wide receiver in this football league, let alone a wide receiver 3. He's just not. We need a wide receiver 3. Trading away Tim Patrick, I understand, apparently did not have the best training camp, but trading away him was a mistake. It was. We could really use him right now, especially with Laporta and Wright done most likely enough for the year, both of them. We could use a guy like Tim Patrick. We could. The receivers on the market, not very good. Not very good. You got Nelson Aguilar. Let's bring back DJ Chark. Let's bring back DJ Chark or run it back. Probably would be better than Isaac Tisla and Cleve Freeman right now. Probably would. Nonetheless, tight ends did not do anything in this game. Zylstra returned for his first game since week 4, week 5, somewhere around there. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. We gotta hope to God if we make the playoffs that something happens like what happened in 2023 where Zach Ertz ended up getting released. Zach Ertz ended up getting released around midseason, but where we ended up signing Zach Ertz to fill in, to potentially start for us, or be a really good backup tight end for us for the playoffs. We got to hope that something like that happens again this year. Or otherwise, yeah, we ain't going to go far in the playoffs because not having Laporte and Brock Wright is an issue. Brock Wright is off working to the side in practice, but I don't think he's going to return this year. On the actual game, I'm running through it. I don't even care. Jared Goff, 25-41, 338, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack taken, 111.6 rating, surgical. Jahmyr Gibbs could not get rolling today, 38 yards, 2.9 yards a carry. Just could not get rolling this back-to-back games where he struggled. Dave Montgomery, 7 for 32, 4.6 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. I swear to God, why are we not using Dave Montgomery enough? Like we should be. Like, why? I don't understand. I do not understand. Trade him. Trade him during this offseason. Trade him, get a 4th-round pick, 5th-round pick. Trade him. You got a 4th-round pick for Swift. You could probably get a 4th-round pick for Monty because Monty's better than Swift. Trade him. We're not using him like we should be. He's a receiving back. He can be a really good asset in the receiving game. No, we're just not going to use him in the receiving game this year. Why are we not running him on 3rd and short? Why are we not running him on 4th and short? Yeah, we picked up the 4th down. We did in this game on that 4th and short, 4th and 1, 4th and inches. And it was not 2 money. I think we passed it. I can't remember. My head's all over the place right now. But what we actually did. But I know we didn't run it with Monty. I don't understand. I don't understand. And you decide to run it with Gibbs about double the amount of carries. And the production is not there with Gibbs, yet the production is there with Montgomery. I just don't understand. Now, when Monty is shut down, he's shut down. It's not like Gibbs when he's shut down where he can end up breaking a run. Monty's not going to do that typically. He's just not. Okay, when Monty is shut down, yeah, you don't use him. But, brother, this is now back-to-back games where he's been really, really good, where he's still not getting enough carries, enough snaps. Why are we not doing it? I know I went on a rant there for bottom end. Sorry, but it drives me up a wall. St. Brown, unbelievable. 13 for 164, 2 touchdowns, now over 90 receptions on the year. First to ever do that from any player in NFL history throughout their first 5 seasons with 90-plus receptions. Now passes 1,100 yards on the year with 164 receiving yards in this game. And now 11 receiving touchdowns on the year, getting 2 more in this game. Jamison Williams continuing to be unbelievable. Now since Dan Campbell's taken over play calling, 7 for 134 and a touchdown. I believe ever since Dan Campbell has taken over play calling, Jamison Williams has had at least 88 receiving yards in every single game besides the game against the New York Giants. So, Jamison Williams has been unbelievable since Dan Campbell's taken over. He is very, very close to 1,000 yards in the year, and I believe he's around 930, and he had 1,001 last year, so he's going to break the amount of receiving yards most likely that he did last year, and he's tied for the same amount of touchdowns as he did last year. So statistically, he's playing a lot better than he did last year, and I agree. You watch the film, he's played way better this year. Yeah, first half of the season was non-existent, but a lot of that I think was John Morton not getting him involved like he should be. So, but James Williams has been unbelievable since Dan Campbell's taken over. But besides that, what do you know? Nobody else can get involved. Jameer 4 for 20, Khalif Raymond 1 for 20, nice catch, but again, just not enough production there at all this season. Isaac Tesla, 1 target, no receptions. Monty, 1 target, no receptions. Jack Campbell, 10 total tackles, continue to be an absolute machine. Eric Howlett, elevated from the practice squad to be starting safety today. Thomas Harper did not pass protocol. Joseph had a setback with his knee. Don't know when he's going to come back. Could be done for the year. Could come back next week. I have no clue. And Branch obviously done for the year with a torn Achilles. So, he started safety for us today. We claimed a couple safeties. We claimed the safety, and we signed the safety this past week. Go over here at the end of the video who those players are. They did not start in this game. Eric Howlett did. We all waited from the practice squad. Did not play great. Did have a nice tackle in there on, I believe it was Kyron Williams, either him or Blake Corum. But besides that, struggled today in coverage. Alex Anzalone, not a great day from him. Had a couple penalties. Avonte Maddox was our number 1 safety in this game. Held his own, made a couple nice hits in there, but again, I got to watch the film to actually see how he did in coverage, but I didn't think he did too bad. DJ Reed got worked today, probably his worst game of the season. I really didn't think he played that bad last week. I really didn't, even after watching the film. I thought a lot of the penalties could have gone either way. They could have thrown him or they could have not. But he was getting pretty worked today in coverage from what I saw. I got to rewatch the film, but from what I saw, just was getting worked in coverage today. Probably his worst game of the season, no question, in my opinion. Meek Robertson, not great either. Not horrible, though, from what I saw from him. Had a decent little pass breakup in there, but he also got beat a couple of times by Puka Nacua. Aiden Hutchinson, one of his better games in a while, getting a sack and his first interception of the season, and his first interception in 2 years, picking off Stafford and nearly taking it for a pick six. Rocky Sin, not great today from him. Probably one of his worst games of the year as well, but he was not awful by any means. And besides that, nobody else to really highlight. Tyreek Williams had a Broderick Martin type snap in there on a touchdown run, I believe, from Blake Corum. It was either him or Kyron Williams. I believe it was Blake Corum, where he just fell to his knees trying to get past the offensive lineman. I believe the guard was Kevin Dotson, who he was trying to get past. The tackle was blocking him as well. Alaric Jackson, I believe is who it was. But he just decided to fall to his knees. That's what Broderick Martin did all the time. I hated it. That drove me nuts looking at that. Roy Lopez had a sack. Nobody else to highlight. Davenport still cannot get production, let alone get a sack. Muhammad did have a nice rush or two in there, but besides that, couldn't get a sack. Tom Kennedy, 1 for 13 on kick returns. Punt returns, 1 for 8. 1 for 15 for Raymond. Rams side of the ball. Stafford was surgical. 24 for 38, 368, 2 touchdowns, 1 picks. 2 sacks taken, 101.6 rating. Kyron Williams, pretty good, 15 for 78, 5.2 yards to carry, 2 touchdowns. Blake Corum was really good, 71 yards, 6.5 yards to carry, 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 2 for 8, and Stafford, 1 for 2. Puka Nacua, 9 for 8, 181, unbelievable. Colby Parkinson, one of the more underrated tight ends in the NFL. 5 for 75, 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns was bull, but they would have scored regardless. Devontae Adams, 4 for 71. He got hurt. Prayers up to him. I don't know if it's just if he re-aggravated his hamstring or if it's going to be a worse injury, but anyway, prayers up for him. He was balling before he got hurt. Davis Allen, the backup tight end, 3 for 16. Williams, 1 for 10. Tutu Atwell, 1 for 9. And Terrence Ferguson, the rookie, 1 for 6. The rookie tight end. Defense side of the ball, not much to highlight. Kobe Turner had a sack, and that's about it from their side of the ball. Their defense really couldn't make a stop until the third quarter. I mean, really, our offense in the fourth quarter was not horrible. Wasn't great, but in the third quarter, their defense really stepped up. But besides that, their defense really did nothing. Kick returns for them was pretty good. They only had 1 punt return. It was for 0 yards. Harrison Mevis went 100%, the thicker kicker. And Ethan Evans, their punter, was pretty good in team stats. And we'll wrap this video up. 20 yards, 396 for the Lions, 519 for the Rams. 326 passing yards for the Lions, 360 for the Rams, 70 rushing yards for the Lions, 159 for the Rams. So almost double. 6.4 yards per play for the Lions, 77.5 for the Rams, 21 first downs for the Lions, 30 for the Rams. Third down efficiency, 5 for 14 for the Lions, 2 for 9 for the Rams. That's really the only thing where we won this game. Fourth down efficiency, we went 2 for 2, they went 3 for 3. Total plays, 62 for the Lions, 69 for the Rams. 1 sacks taken for the Lions, 2 for the Rams. 3 punts for both teams. Penalty yards, 4 for 25 for the Lions and 2 for 8 for the Rams. Fumbles lost, 0-0. I see some people complaining about the refs in this game. I didn't actually think they were too bad. I didn't think Alan Eck, the main ref in this game, and his team were a very good team. But I didn't think they were horrible in today's game. I really didn't think they were, besides that touchdown call that they gave to Colby Parkinson. But besides that, I didn't think they were too bad. I'm going to be honest with you. Interception thrown, 0 for Goff, 1 for Stafford. Time possession, 26 minutes and 25 seconds for the Lions, 33 minutes and 35 seconds for the Rams. Tackles, 36 for the Lions, 28 for the Rams. Field goals made of attempts, 2 for 3. Jake Bates did miss one. And Harrison Mevis went 100%, going for 2 for 2. Red zone made attempts. The Lions went 3 for 4. Rams went 4 for 6. So you look at the team stats there. The Rams absolutely killed us essentially. Besides third down efficiency, where that's like the only thing we won really. It was a rough day, man. It was, like I said, I did not go into this game thinking we were going to win. I absolutely did not. But the Lions, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like, I'm so deflated, dude. I'm so deflated, and it's not because we're losing, and it's like, okay, I haven't been around losing seasons. That's a lie. Obviously, you guys didn't see my reactions and everything when we had losing seasons before Campbell and the Patricia era and even the Caldwell era. It started in the second to last year before Caldwell was fired. Is when I started watching football. But I've experienced in the losing seasons. At least, what? I started in 2015, so I experienced about 6, 7. I swear to you, I did not try to do that. Losing seasons before Dan Campbell took over. And we started getting winning seasons back in 2022. But I've been around to it. But this losing season, or excuse me, obviously we don't have a losing season, but losing these games this year hurt a lot more than what they did back then. Because we, heading out of the season, were expected to be another juggernaut. We were. We're just not that. We're not that this year. We're just not. We are not even a wild card team. We are a team in the hunt who's got the less than a 50% chance to make the playoffs right now. I believe we got a 41% chance to make the playoffs right now per NFL.com. And like I said, we have to win out, and we have to hope the Bears drop one of the last 3. So, yeah, get ready for a long off season that's approaching. I just picture this, dude. Like, I don't really know the actual percentages. Like, we could just anyway. Imagine this: Aaron Rodgers comes back home to Detroit next week. We take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers comes back to Detroit. He beats the Lions, knocks them off, and knocks them out of the playoffs, and eliminates them. I'm just saying, you know what he's done to us in the past. I'm not going to say what, because I'm not trying to relive that. But I'm just saying, imagine he comes back to Detroit and lights us up and knocks the Detroit Lions essentially out of the playoffs and eliminates them. I mean, keeps them out of the playoffs, I should say. Eliminates them. I'm just saying. Anyway, go over the roster moves here, and we'll give my final thoughts on the game, and that'll be that. I don't know what I keep stumbling over my words. I can't even believe that we're having conversations about the offseason already this year. First set about roster moves we made this past week. We released Andrew Armstrong from the practice squad. I did not like that. He has a lot of potential. Hoping we can get him back on like a futures deal after the season's over. We signed safety DeMonte Casey, and defensive tackle Pat O'Connor to the practice squad. Nice to see O'Connor back. He did struggle when he had played for us this year, but veteran defensive lineman been in the room. Don't mind it. Might not even play for us this year. Who knows? DeMonte Casey will go over his stats here in a minute. Not a bad addition, though. Hard-hitting safety. We're now down a lot of hard hitters, but we do make a hard-hitting safety addition there with DeMonte Casey. So, decent little signing there. We have also re-signed cornerback Arthur Millette to the 53-man roster. I love that move. And we waived tight end Ross Dwelly. We did not re-sign him back to the practice squad, so currently he's a free agent. His time as a Detroit Lion has come to an end. I don't mind that move either. Really, fine blocker, fine receiver for a third-string tight end. I mean, just like when the guy's forced into a starting role, what is he gonna do? You know, not much. So. Whatever. I mean, every tight end we get at this point, I don't think they're going to be about the same. Our third bench and roster moves, we waived tight end Hayden Rutsey, who we just claimed from the Dolphins the previous week, and he ended up going back to the Dolphins practice squad, so he was on the team for about 6 days. And we claimed safety Jalen Mills, veteran safety Jalen Mills from Houston. I think he was a free agent at certain times last year during the season. I always said we could potentially sign him as a potential depth safety addition to our team. But nonetheless, we bring him in this year, and probably too late at this point. But there's that. And our final match of roster moves, we play safety Brian Branson injured reserve with that torn Achilles. It's done for the year and probably going to miss the start of the next season. Activated tight end Shane Zilstra from injured reserve, and elevated tight end / fullback Giovanni Risi, and safety Eric Howlett from the practice squad. Already talked about Eric Howlett. Giovanni Risi did play quite a bit today, but he did have a holding call in there and really didn't do much besides that. So I didn't think he was horrible in the blocking, but he did not have a catch today. And that's about it for for Giovanni Ricci. Now going on to DeMonte Casey here, stats: 5'11", 174, former 5th-round pick in 2017, 149 by the Falcons. From San Diego State, second year in the NFL, had 7 picks. 2019, third year, 3 picks. Fourth year, he must have got hurt. Had quite a bit of forced fumbles in there. That's how you can tell he's a hard hitter. 2021 goes to Dallas, 2 picks. 2022 goes to Pittsburgh, 2 picks. 2023 with Pittsburgh, 2 picks. And his final year last year with Pittsburgh also had a pick. 17 career picks, 7 leading the NFL in 2018 in his second year. And like I said, hard-hitting safety. He's got a total of 8 career forced fumbles. And with 4, 5, 6, 8 coming, all of them coming in his first 5 seasons, with 6 of them coming in his first 4 in his rookie deal. He's got 2 career fumble recoveries, along with 24 passes defensed. There is DeMonte Casey for you. I'm so deflated, dude. I'm sorry this video, I know it's extremely boring like every video is at this point, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I did not want to make this video. I really did not. Really did not want to do it. Jalen Mills, 6 foot, 191, 31 years old, from LSU, former 7th-round pick, 233 by the Eagles in 2016. Has a 1 solo tackle this season. 3 picks in 2017, his second year. 1 in 2019, his final year of his rookie deal. And a pick after an extension with the Eagles in his 5th year with 1 interception. 2022, his second year with New England, 2 picks. Played with the Jets last year. Had 1 pick, 8 career receptions, 3 career forced fumbles. 2 coming in the past 3 years. 1 fumble recovery, 1.5 sacks, and 1.5 coming in 2020. And with 59 passes defense, so quite a bit of passes defenses in his NFL career. His best year coming in 2017 with 14, which is a lot for a safety, to say the least. So, Jalen Mills, DeMonte Casey, welcome to Detroit. There are your roster moves for this past week to finish the Lions vs. Rams game next week. Obviously, must win. Must win. I hate it. Must win next week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. If we lose, we're essentially eliminated. Probably have less than a 2% shot to make the playoffs. I don't think we're technically eliminated, but we have to have less than 2% shot to make the playoffs if we lose next week. I can't get that out of my head, dude. Picturing Aaron Rodgers eliminating us from the playoffs next week, I can't even imagine. I do think we get the win next week, but oh my god, I just can't even imagine. So, one Pride Go Lions, rough game day, second half specifically. Defense now had 3 straight games where they've struggled, or not struggled, but not played like they should. Now, granted, we do have a lot of injuries, obviously, so I'm going to come some slack. But at the same time, you got to step up. And they were at the beginning of the season with Kelvin Shepherd taking over. I do expect them to bounce back a little bit next week. I do think we're going to limit Aaron Rodgers to not very much passing yards. I don't think they're really going to be able to get the running game going either. But we'll see. Like I said, I still got that in the back of my head that he's just going to come in and destroy us next week and eliminate us from the playoffs. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we can bounce back. Hopefully it will come down to Week 18 because, in my opinion, that's regardless of what happens in the next coming weeks, that's what's going to come down to see who gets the 7th seed between the Bears and the Lions. But anyway, one Pride, go Lions. Sorry about this boring video. I'm really not in the mood right now. Probably like you guys are as well. So, made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Leave it in the comments down below. If you stayed till the end of the video. And yes, brother, one Pride, go Lions. Brother, you did not think that I was going to forget about it, did you? One Pride, go Lions.